Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And I would have never thought in a million years we'd be doing a video on this. I mean, maybe somewhere down the line I would have made a video on KK's supremacy, but then now we're making a video on KK's untimely demise. I mean, it's been 2 days. I'll start with Shreyank itself. What was the initial reaction when you got the
Uh, to be honest, I was taken by surprise as anyone would have. Like that was untimely, something that was right out of the blue because I remember going to bed, looking at his Instagram because in my Instagram feed, it was his stories that were going on about the concert that had happened, and I was seeing how, as usual, how energetic KK was, how he mesmerized the crowd and everything. So I was like happy because previous to that day, I had seen him post a photo of with his band landed in Kolkata for the gig and everything. So it's always lovely because I've been following KK for so long, and when I woke up the next morning because I slept early, and when I saw the news of his death, I I was stunned. I sat there on the couch for 15 minutes trying to contemplate what had happened because me and Vicky, we always had this, a conversation every time that there are good singers, then there are amazing singers, and then there is this top like Leon where only few singers can sit, and KK sat there among the best of the best, and we always had this conversation of how underrated it is, and to see that singer all of a sudden stop singing for forever, that really hurt. That was the one thing that hurt because more than the person, it was the art that we
That's
saw
gone.
from that
Exactly.
person. Yeah, that is what hurt me the most.
That's, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, we are going to die any day. Nobody is immortal
Yeah,
here. So we have to die someday. But especially when a perfectly fit, fine man who's very fit for his age, with no previous heart condition, just goes off like that. Uh, yeah. I mean, you know how I love KK. I mean, I'm a huge, I critic. I mean, I nitpick a lot. You know that, not just in
yeah,
music or anything, guys. So you, in order for him to be one of my favorites, you can imagine how proficient he was, and also like you said, being underrated. I don't think he's underrated. He doesn't care like the masses. Now that I've realized, we've talked about it as well. Now that I've realized, do you really think he's underrated? The amount of posts that people have put. Forget about celebrities and
yeah.
media.
No, yeah.
Amen. Amen.
After, yes, definitely, because after his death and everything, I have seen a lot of people who I never thought would put up a story or as such for a person like him. Yeah, I felt okay. He was not underrated as we would think, but we always had this conversation, right?
Yes,
See,
yes, he's
we still
definitely.
underappreciate KK a lot because the way other singers are celebrated in the music industry and Bollywood, he was not given the credit. That's where I feel he was
Yes,
underrated.
yes.
The fans always rated him because even though people did not know who KK was, they always knew KK song.
KK songs.
If
That
they
is.
didn't know the KK, the person, KK the songs, everybody knew.
And
So
that
there was,
too, yeah, like, nobody knows his songs. For instance, I've been to a couple of KK's concerts. The first time when I went around, right here in Mangalore. So this
Mhm.
bunch of people come, it's at Forum Pizza Mall, right? So they probably came to the mall and this KK is
Yeah,
performing. And they have no idea. I mean, I can hear them talk. They're saying, who's this guy? We have no idea and all this. I'm right beside them. We're standing and we're watching. And then one after the other, when this guy, sings his hit machines, he's a hit machine,
Mhm.
basically. I
Yeah,
can name 20 songs of him that everybody knows of. These
yeah,
guys lose. I mean, they've got no idea that this guy is KK and he's sung their favorite songs. And they're humming along, Ajab
yeah,
Si, Tu Hi Meri Shabu and all. That
yeah,
really, then, oh, okay. It didn't matter, maybe we as fans, we always thought it deserved more. But for KK in all of his interviews, he said it didn't matter. Like he said, he needs to
yeah.
be heard, not to be seen. So what's your take
Correct,
on that?
correct, correct.
What a, like,
Uh,
for a human being to have that kind of a conscious
yeah.
thinking.
Correct. So I feel I have seen this trend with people who are really proficient in the field tend to not like the limelight a lot. I have seen this with different people. There are certain people who are completely immersed in that field and they don't want to be on that limelight every time because somehow they feel it affects their their performance, their dedication to that particular industry. For example, KK, uh, even though he said he doesn't like the limelight and everything, but his songs brought him to the limelight forcefully, and he had to come
Exactly.
out at times. So it shows that he's he he's in the game not for the limelight, the fans, the appreciation that he gets. He just loves singing that much.
Singing.
It is
Exactly.
pure love for the art that he has devoted his entire life to. So maybe these are the kind of people that rightfully have their place established as one of the best in their respective fields. And KK, obviously, right up there with the versatility of the guy, the genius of the guy, and the amount of different genres that he has sung for. It's
Sung,
just brilliant.
not being classically trained and to be,
Yeah,
he doesn't have to. Yeah, I mean, you can say that he can't sing a purely classical songs, but in Bollywood you don't have to. But in Bollywood, what you need is a proper mixture of pop, understanding of the lyrics, good
yeah,
pronunciation, and feel. And this guy has it
yeah,
all. And this guy's USP, the pitching. His
yeah,
vocal range is monstrous. I mean, probably
yeah,
it's safe to say that one of the best India has ever produced. It is one of the greatest
definitely.
from a country in the last 50, 60. You could name him among Kishore Kumar sir, Mohammad Rafi sir, Lata Mangeshkar ji, and this guy too. They are that
Yeah,
level. And
yeah.
yeah, go on.
Like we always used to talk about how they are good singers, amazing singers, and the top three on their best of the
Elite level.
best. Yeah, and he was right up there with the elites. And we, because you remember Sonu, Shan, KK, this trio is one of the most versatile, the most best in the field, and they produce some of the best music. And KK easily for me, from the past 40 years that he was involved in the music industry, easily easily top three for me, easy.
For sure. He's for sure. There's no doubt. And this is not, guys, this is not subjective. This is
Yeah.
objectively speaking that we are.
No,
Because
it might feel that just because he has passed away and we are making a
no,
video
no,
just to
no,
stay
no.
relevant or something. We have been harping on for KK since the time we have met each other during our engineering days. Because I remember sitting in the last bench just talking about KK, the songs that he used to he has sung,
He
and just
sung.
humming them. It is just beautiful every time we have spoken about it. It just really came through as pure and genuine from our end. So that is where I feel that is why this tribute to him uh, is genuine from our side. It is straight from our hearts.
It
And
is, it
so
is. And this is very interesting anecdote that I'd like to share now. Like I said, I
yeah,
have, got a handshake from him, right? So he was performing see, he's media shy, but he isn't shy at the stage. That guy,
mhm,
he's the confidence oozes. He's performing in a stage like for a crowd of around 10. You know how Alvas Virat's crowd is.
correct.
Huge crowd,
Yes.
10, 10,500
Yeah.
crowd. And stage,
Mhm.
it starts from one end and it goes on forever to the other end. So
Yeah.
he's got
He
five
was.
tight musicians, five amazing band who's been with him forever and ever, and this guy at the center and is roaming around because he has to manage. So we are at the side where this huge chain of speakers are just hanging.
Speakers.
So there's a small narrow passway, it's quite small, and if he trips, he's gonna fall down from the stage. He sees us,
Mhm.
we're singing and we're shaking hands and all. He doesn't have to come, but he
Yeah.
somehow manages comes through that narrow passway and all gives a proper shake hand to like 4 to 5 guys, and I was one among them. And then he goes, "These are
Mhm.
the small things, He doesn't have to do that,
Correct.
but
So,
it's
so
beautiful."
that is again his. I guess when he's performing on stage, maybe he's intoxicated by the music, and he's
It's feeding
engulfed
off.
by the love, the energy that he gets from the fans and the music that. So generally, when people are lost in their own field, right? So they tend to just take grab hold of everything that is around you, and try and pump yourself up and pump the people around you, and maybe that is completely justifying the sort of stage performer he was, and the way he performed on
Electric
stage,
for one of the
be
best
it
I've for
be it
sure.
be it a small scale concert or from or a large scale concert. He was energetic. We could see that from all his concerts, all his videos and
Beast,
everything.
beast on the
As you said,
stage.
yeah.
We'd never
I
see
remember,
anyone like.
yeah, I remember Virasat. I was supposed to come, but since I was out of station, you went with Melrick. I
Well,
guess I
yes,
remember that. I remember
beautiful
because I was regretting that because the next 2 days you did not stop about how
experience.
good the show was, because that was
It
really hard to
was
watch you.
amazing. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
I know
It's
it
not
was
just
really hard for
the
me.
songs, okay. I understand it's the same song he's been singing, but the way he's controlled the crowd, I mean, so much of expertise in what he does. And then he just walks off the stage. It's beautiful. Yeah, he sung those songs for a million times. I don't know. But just to come out and replicate, he doesn't even carry tab or book or anything to see the lyrics. He just comes. He's a natural singer. He's not trained. He's a natural singer. It was God's gift to us. And yeah,
So,
talking
like,
about
yeah, it's
yeah, go
completely
on.
immersed in the field.
In the
When
field,
you are
definitely.
engulfed in music, like I said, he just feeds off the energy that the art provides him. So it's a two-way street where he is giving so much for the art, and the art also gives back to him so much that he keeps running on that particular energy, recycling
He had
and
a lot to give. At
performing.
53, I mean, he was well past his prime, but yet so much to deliver, so much to perform. And then this happens. Let's talk about the lead up to his death later. That's okay. But what are your favorite songs of Cake? Like, I'm not, there might be plenty. I can't ask you to choose one.
I mean, exactly. To be honest with you, he was one of the person where each of his song was like a cult hit, even though it was not have been a huge hit. It was a cult hit. So
Everybody
yeah,
knew it.
exactly. So from the versatility genius that he was, pick up each genre of songs. You'll have, okay, this song, I'm not sure if it's a hit with one particular group of people, but then it was a cult hit among one set of people.
It's a voice of
So,
youth, don't you think? Every youth, the guys of our age especially,
yeah,
a heart of his piece of a heart is gone with him
yeah,
forever. It's a big
yeah,
part of an
yeah.
childhood.
To be honest, sorry. So with the guy he was, sorry, I'm just getting a few calls. Okay. So uh, yeah, I lost my train of thought. So yeah, what I wanted to tell was KK as a singer, he represented many generations. He was not limited to one generation. Because see, we could relate. If we could relate to KK, then there are songs which our parents also heard, and in the
Yeah,
90s when he got his first entry into Bollywood with Tadap Tadap,
Tadap Tadap.
that
It was
was
major hit.
major hit. That was amazing. That my parents still talk about it. So with our parents, with our generation, and then the generation that followed us also heard a lot of his songs.
A
Then
lot
they
of
fell in love. So I'll tell you one thing: it is not easy to capture so many generations.
hmm,
Be it for a singer. Now, for example, if you take an example of another singer of present generation, I don't think they will appeal for the generation that we were. Like, for example, Neha Kakkar and everyone. Okay,
no,
they have
no, no.
some good hits, but the present generation might vibe on the songs that they have sung. But then to breach the generation walls requires a huge this thing talent and capacity, and
And
he represented that capacity.
thing with KK, I read it somewhere. He was there in the time of the cassettes and CD, time of the CD,
Yeah,
or you don't have to talk about it. It was his time
cassettes.
everywhere.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
the time of
Oh,
pen drives and digitalized music platform as well. So he
yeah.
was there for
Correct.
everything.
Yeah.
Uh,
So that exactly, I put out a tweet yesterday about how generations changed, music platforms changed, but this guy stood tall and delivered some of the best music that we have ever heard. And that was my summation of his entire career as a singer, and I felt that captured his complete, you know, magnanimous personality that he was
Personality.
in the field of singing.
And also, this guy, if you look at it in a way, he has no haters. Nobody says, I don't like KK. There are plenty people saying, I don't know who KK is, but they know his
Hmm.
songs, obviously. But
Correct.
nobody says, I don't like KK or I don't like his music. So
Correct.
he's sort of a Rahul Dravid of music. Well,
I mean, that is the best analogy, I guess, you can put it.
hmm,
Because Rahul Dravid, he has huge accolades that I don't think many of people can reach in cricket. And same thing with KK. He had some terrific hits. Somewhat, I would say 70% of the songs are terrific hits.
It's it's
That is easy. That is not a ratio that is easy to achieve
a
in
lot
the
of
field
people
of music.
definitely not, and especially with the
And
number of songs is sung. If
correct,
it's
correct.
70%, it has to
And
be
a
a lot.
consistent, yeah, and a consistent performer as Rahul Dravid. So
He
probably
sung over
whatever he
3,000
gets,
jingles, dude. Like 3,000 jingles. So great
3,500 jingles, and
jing
then he got his first break
first
into
break.
Bollywood
So it shows
before he.
how persisting he was, how believing he was in his music, and kept on doing repeat day after day after day, and then this break came through. I mean, when we
Yeah,
talk about KK, we have to talk about Imran Hashmi as well. This guy basically gave a
that
face
but I guess that is one of the best hero and playback singing this thing we
with
can ever
Preetham's
get,
music.
because the amount of hits that Imran Hashmi has from KK songs are massive. Even though the movies
Yeah, I was
flash
going to say that
in the
pretty piss
in
poor
the
movies, barring few
exactly,
movies. There is
yeah,
no essence or no substance. But people do
no,
remember those movies for its music,
correct,
especially KK's voice,
correct, correct.
the
So
way he's
it's
rendered
just
it.
fascinating. I don't think we will stop talking about this person, and
I
we
hope
can
not.
never
I
sum up an
what fears me is
entire
that the future
music.
generation, as they don't, this guy KK is no more. They don't get to see him
Mm,
live. All they have to do
mm,
is refer back to his music. I hope they don't. He doesn't fade away. I mean, good music never
mm.
fades away.
Yeah,
Mohammed Rafi, we still talk about Mohammed Rafi and all.
Kishore
But
Kumar. So
yeah,
if we are still talking about Kishore Kumar and Mohammad Rafi, then we surely will be talking about KK 20, 30 years down the line. Aram se. I don't have any doubt about it, because good music, good content, and uh, good content creators will always be valued, no matter what their timeline was, when they were present, in which generation they were active. No matter
Freddie
what, they will
Mercury
always be.
was a big example.
Yeah, exactly. Why do we still hear 70s, 80s rock music
Hmm.
till now?
We
No
earn
matter
for
what.
it, actually, as a matter of fact.
We still. So it shows that music uh, and time, they don't go hand in hand. It's
Yeah,
not that
it's that.
time will consume music. No,
It
time can
never
defeat a
does. It
lot of
never
things.
does.
Can take away a lot of humans and everything. But the art of music is irrespective of times. They don't have any
You
correlation.
have any particular memories with KK songs back in your high schools or any?
I mean, yeah, you can always talk about the farewells that we used to have, because
Oh yeah,
whenever each and every time a farewell
it was
happens
like he paid
in
us
our
to
school
play
and
that
college,
song.
exactly, it was like one was Yaro.
Yeah,
That was like that song is a must in a farewell. So some of these songs are a must. Alvida also can happen. These because a lot of emo boys will play that when the girl
yeah.
stops talking to them.
What one hell of a
So
song that too.
I mean,
Alvida,
I
Time
mean,
of Your Life by Green Day. These things are constant. They don't change.
exactly. So on farewells he was constant. On romantic breakups he was constant. He was a constant. Yeah, in romance also he was a constant. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the best songs that I've heard from this genre, from one of the genre that I not really vibed on. If I think about, is Das Bahane. And oh my God, I remember
Dance
how
numbers.
that is a classic, and the video also actually Das Bahane Ka, the movie was an utter flop. I remember
Mm.
it was a flop show, but then this music and that song remained for a lot of years as a
And
favorite for a
yeah,
lot
when
of
you
people.
talked about dance numbers, you just forget how many good dance numbers, how many great dance numbers KK had. There's
Hmm,
Apdi Pode.
correct.
It's a worldwide hit. Everybody sings it. It is.
I mean, when that song was a, I guess, early 2000 classic and a must in all the school day events. I remember
And now in a wedding.
I changed three schools. Yeah, I went to three schools. I changed three schools in my childhood, and all the three schools when I had school day, every some of the other guy performed on that.
Had to.
So
It was by default.
it was a genius performance, that Apdi Pode song that he had.
It's a
Das
genius.
Bahane.
And also, there's that, and there's this Chale Jaise Hawa Hai.
Uh,
Son, from Mehuna. Those were
Mehuna,
all
yeah.
childhood blockbusters. Like you said, this guy has a one great song in almost every genre. That's how you
correct,
can
correct,
define his legacy.
correct, correct.
And suddenly when he
Absolutely.
goes, it really hurts. I mean, you best it's same like Irfan Khan. You they don't you don't they nobody can fill their void. I mean that void still will be there. Only time heals and you somewhat get used to
Mm.
it.
Yeah,
So
I guess we'll get more terms to terms. We'll get in terms with this death as time progresses. When we keep celebrating the person and the art
exactly
and the music that they did. So if we keep doing that, I don't think the person will ever die.
his
He
music
will be he will be a constant. He will be remembered every time, each and every time a song is played. Because now we used to enjoy all of his songs. Now we will still enjoy the songs, but bit of with a bit of sadness because
yeah,
he is no more.
no
That is the
more
only change I feel that might come by. Because 1 month down the line, if we talk about him again, or 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, 2 years down the line, we will be still same sort of
same
enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. That's for
Only
sure.
thing, yeah, the only thing will change is we'll be a bit sad because he's no more with us. We'll not be able to see him live ever again.
Live.
So that,
And yeah, with that, let's talk about his last concert. I mean, what do you think went wrong? They just filled 7,000 of people in a 2,500 capacity.
Mhm.
This isn't any common singer that you're bringing in.
I mean, again, the organizers were at complete fault. The manager of KK was at complete fault, as you said yesterday. But to be honest, there are some stipulations that the organizers need to follow, no matter how much profit you want to make out of this that particular event. uh, there's some sort of logic that you need to take care of, isn't it? Now, come on, if your house has a capacity of 6 people, you can't make 15 people stay in that house and ask them to lead a comfortable life, isn't it?
Hmm.
So there is going to be some squeeze required. There will be some sort of repercussions that happen. The same thing with this auditorium fiasco is like, if you don't have that capacity and you have already booked 3 times more the people, you
People
should also have the means to control that crowd. You
control
should
that
have
exactly.
mitigating factors like, have sufficient police or sufficient bouncers on the in the place to at least push the people out who are not eligible for to enter the arena
No
for
problem.
the
You can use
concert.
fire extinguishers.
I mean, that was one of the other stupid. But I read a lot about how some of the cardiologists and all had reacted on this, and when they saw some of the videos, because they said perspiration, he was perspiring a lot, so
Lot.
that was a stage of that is the clear sign of imminent cardiac arrest, is
Yeah,
what.
yeah, but what's what gets really tricky here is he's performing, so
Hmm.
he's bound to sweat.
He's got commitment, yeah,
He's bound to
commitment,
sweat.
and
So
bound to sweat. Oh,
you
correct,
can't
correct,
you can't just figure
correct.
out if it's a sweat from your cardiac arrest or maybe the normal sweating because
Hmm.
he's sweating. There's no water. I mean, sorry, there's no air
Correct.
supply or exchange of air going on. He's bound to
Hmm.
sweat. But what really against stands out is KK being KK. Had it been any other artist or artists
Hmm.
who aren't that as great as KK, normal artists in the present our generation, they would have just fled the
Hmm.
scene in the slightest of the discomfort.
Correct.
They'd
Correct.
say, no, I'm
Correct.
not doing this. But KK being KK, probably, it. But then these are all these little variables that we can talk about it. But I think
Hmm.
in the end, his time was over, and he's the only one who's had an heart attack and a cardiac arrest. There were 7,000 other people in the. So you
Correct.
can't really
Correct.
completely blame, but you can do file case against the organizers for
The
negligence.
organizers, yeah, correct.
And this shouldn't
Correct.
happen
Correct.
anymore again.
And they did not have a paramedic team on site. If
Hmm.
they had some team on site or any ambulance or something, so they could have
How could you
some way or the
not
other would have
have?
happened.
In the last month on March when I've been to Sonu Nigam's concert, there were plenty of cops, plenty of volunteers, and there was a ambulance as well. When you're
Hmm.
gathering a that amount of people, you have to have all these medical backups. These
Yeah.
guys didn't have it.
Correct.
Just look like some, in Mangalore we have Karavali Utsav, right? It has a better arrangement. It honestly has better arrangement than what these guys
I
did.
agree. I agree.
He
I agree.
even did you see that he was shouting, he was talking, and after when he finished the show, he was completely drained out. But he,
Yeah,
despite that,
and he was
his
walked out.
energy is shown to the people.
Hmm.
It's just
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to speculate a lot of things, but I all we can do is just wish him a safe journey. In his afterlife, and hopefully he'll reach a place where he continues singing and keeps the good music alive. And we have to keep his memory.
yes, only yeah,
Uh,
we as fans, it's up to us because
Correct.
media or the Bollywood never gave him enough credit any which ways. It was just
Mhm.
us, and it's still
Yeah.
continue. It's still gonna be just us.
I guess that's the only thing he would ask as a person. I guess for the fans to remember him and keep his memory and keep his songs alive by singing and
Yeah,
so
what else can we do? We make
yeah,
cover songs as tributes, but movie stars he's given great hits. They don't even
hmm,
post. They don't, all it takes is 2 minutes to tweet. They don't do that.
correct.
So we can see where it's
It's just
going.
shameful.
I
I
mean,
saw Madhavan had a great tweet out that he wished
yeah,
him this way. So it was good to see people because Madhavan also had huge hits with KK as
with
his
early days of
playback
his.
singer.
But
So
like I said, I
early
can
days
name
of
out celebrities also. I honestly don't care. Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, there's Deepika. Deepika,
Deepika Padukone.
they don't, I don't understand.
It's like almost like they've reached a certain height where they are tone deaf. They become
Yeah,
tone deaf and
exactly,
they
exactly.
completely are ignorant to the facts that is happening around
They hear
them.
sound in a different frequency. It's they have a different frequency for
Exactly.
what they hear. It's ridiculous. And also,
Hmm.
I was just looking up. This guy has got no Padma Shri or anything, and they've got Karan Johar, Ekta Kapoor, Kangana with all those awards. I mean, where is the logic here? I
Maybe
mean, you
maybe
gave Sonu
posthumously he'll
Nigam
be given.
Padma
Yeah,
Shri this year, so yeah.
yeah. So maybe he'll be there next year for sure.
Most probably, but yeah, he never cared for his award, so it doesn't really matter. All we can wish is, he's had a safe passage to the other side.
I mean, that's one of the best ways to go, isn't it? He has
Yeah,
just
doing
finished a
what you
show.
love,
He
exactly.
gave, he did what he loved, and it's just the best. And for me, I am requesting one thing that you need to do before we end the video. That yeah, you are a singer. I have heard you. You're good, and I just want you to give one small tribute to him before we end this video by singing his favorite or your favorite song of his.
I'll just sing this. दिल कहे संभल जरा खुशी को ना नजर लगा के डर है तुमको को दूंगा ओ तुमसे दिल की बातें सीखी तुमसे ही ये राहें सीखी तुम पे मर के मैं तो जी गया खुदा जाने मैं फिदा हूँ खुदा जाने मिट गया खुदा जाने क्यों हुआ है कि बन गए हो तुम मेरे खुदा. Safe passage. And yeah, you want to add anything before I'll wind it up?
Yeah, I'm not a singer, but I appreciate good music, and KK was one of my favorite singers ever. And to see him go, it is a bit hard for us to digest. But then, uh, as everything, life moves on, we move on. But I am sure that KK songs always remember. We will always remember
For
them
sure.
and
As long
cherish
as
them
we are
for
alive, at
our
least I know
we
we
are
can't talk for
at
others.
least.
He'll be there.
Yes,
As long as
yes,
we
we will
breathing,
always keep that alive.
good
Correct.
music goes on. Good music.
Yes,
Guys,
good
please do
music
support good
always,
music.
always survive. Yeah,
Always for good music. And as usual, thanks for joining, man.
yeah.
Sharing your
Pleasure,
own
pleasure, pleasure.
thoughts and views. And I wouldn't ask people to like, share, and subscribe to this particular video because that isn't
Yeah,
my intention. Just wanted to put
yeah.
out what he meant to us.
What we felt because
Yep,
before we end it, this is just conversation between two pals who absolutely adored this gentleman
this
who is
gentleman.
no more with us. It is just a
Exactly.
conversation that we really wanted to have and we really wanted to share with the world to see how we appreciate it in our own ways. Yeah,
And
thank
as
you.
usual, thanks for joining. See you in the next
Thank
video.
you, Vicky.
Thanks, guys. Take care.